welcome back to my channel. Here to go over my newest watch from Tubi. This movie's called Play Dirty. Now this is a little different from what I usually watch on Tubi. This is not a plot twist type of thriller, fatal attraction, seductive killer type thing going on that we see a lot of times on Tubi. This movie, it put me in the mindset of like action movies with, and when I say action, I don't mean like cars blowing up and stuff. I mean like there's this time in the 90s from like 94 to I'm gonna say 97. And it's hard for me to explain, but like Leon the Professional, Pulp Fiction, those type of movies that came out in that little block. That's the vibe I got from this movie. It felt very much like something that could have came out, and this is a compliment in a good way. Something that came out around that time, like 90, like I said, from like 94 to 97. And so the main character in this movie, he actually wrote and directed this. And by looking at his age, it's like, you know what? Yeah, I can see that because he was, probably just starting out around that time. So it was refreshing to see, have a different feeling, that kind of nostalgic feeling of those, kind of action films from the mid 90s, right? So in this one, he is a cop, but he's also on drugs and on drugs bad. So he lives in both worlds, the underworld of drug dealing and also being a cop. And he uses his job as being a cop to a lot of times get drugs. So he's wanting to change his life and totally go away, right? So I guess the head honcho is like, all right, listen, you take out my biggest competitions, which it was the Hispanics, Asians, Italians, bikers. I want to say that was it, right? Like these are the groups of people who I guess are like maybe, his competition in drug game. So he's like, you do that, you take them out, I'll give you X amount of dollars and you can go on about your way. So what would a movie like this be without a love interest? So he's involved with this woman who is kind of involved with his boss, not the cop boss, but the drug dealer boss. And he's like, look, we'll run away together, you and me. Now, for whatever reasons, I think they were just like hooking up because he didn't even know she had a child. She was like, well, I have a kid. And he was like, I thought you said you had a cat. He's like, I have a cat and a kid. He's 5 years old. And then she kind of went off on him. I didn't understand that part. Like, why are you going off? He was just saying he wanted y'all to come with him. I mean, you can say no. So while this is going on, I'm watching it and I'm like, okay. So in the midst of him taking out these enemies, it's not going to go as smoothly as planned, right? Because it wouldn't be a movie if you just know everything that's going to happen. So trying to get my thoughts together here because I'm gonna be honest, I didn't take any notes, but the way it ended, because I'm pretty sure you've seen this by now, was dead dog dirty. It was like he should have been worrying about himself and not her, because when he came back with the money, she killed his ass and then got in the car with her son and rode off into the sunset. So, but like I said, a lot of times when you're watching movies, it doesn't necessarily have to end in a good way. but that just kind of broke my heart a little bit. So I was doing some research on this guy, and he looked familiar, and I was trying to figure out what I've seen him in, but everything that he plays in, I haven't seen. So maybe it's one of those situations where, like, the TV was on and he was just happened to be on it, and but I wasn't paying attention. You know, one of those type of things. Um, the guy that was he's real different looking. The guy that played, I guess you could say he was one of the bad guys, the drug dealer boss dude. That was my first time seeing him in something like that. He usually plays. I'm gonna see if I can look him up, because he usually plays lighter characters. You know, we like when actors step outside their comfort zones. Let me see this man's name. They're showing a movie from 1969. Hold on. Do Tubi. I can't wait to go live with y'all, because like while I'm doing this stuff, I can like look at comments and talk, like we can chat in real time. But YouTube was saying something about if I have less than a certain amount of people that the live won't get saved or something. Let's see. Why is it so hard to find Tubi movies and you're trying to find the cast? Like, you can't always find the cast. Ron Perlman. Let me look him up. That's what's coming up. What the heck? He played it. He has a very distinctive face, right? Let me see what the boss played in. Okay, he played in Hellboy. He played Hellboy. And there he was, Hellboy. Tangled, Conan the Barbarian, City of Lost Children. He was on Beauty and Beast, the show. So he's played in like a lot of like sci-fi, superhero type stuff. So to see him in this was refreshing, because I'm like, I was like, I knew this guy looked familiar. So, but there was a scene where I hate to see people get abused on movies. Like, I know it's just acting, but so basically she drugged him, the girl that the main character was messing with, because she was, you know, in cahoots with her. I don't even know if I should say boyfriend, but she was in cahoots with old boy. And Hellboy, I'm gonna call him Hellboy. Hellboy figured she was up to something, took off his belt. Like, he made it seem like he was about to get undressed and have her do some sexual act. He took off his belt and beat her like all in the face and everything, because one of the next scenes we saw, she had lip was bruised up and arm was bruised up. But he did pass out. Like, whatever she put in his drink, he did pass out. But there was something in there where he told him he was gonna give him this money for knocking these people off, but he didn't. But he got the money anyway. I forgot. This is why it's best. Don't worry about my nails. I ran out of nail polish remover, so I have one hand that's chipped and one hand that's bare. But anyway, yeah, this is the reason why I like to do my reviews right after I watch the movie, because I watched this movie like 2 days ago. You know what I'm saying? So, but like I said, check out Play Dirty, because a lot of times when people think about Tubi movies, they think about like the black hood, either hood gangster movie or like a black fatal attraction type love story. But Tubi has a whole lot. If you go back into my videos, if you just keep scrolling back, I did a video on this show called The Desmonds, which was a show that was in London or England anyway. Takes place in Peckham, England, in the 80s and 90s. And I had never heard of that show until I was just on Tubi, you know, flipping around looking for stuff. and it's one of my favorite shows, you know, and it's old, and I just got hit to it like 2 years ago. So Tubi has some really good stuff. Um, don't I know people make fun of Tubi, man, but just like any other streaming service, it's the same type of stuff. So, but shout out to Tubi though for letting people, small time filmmakers, upcoming filmmakers upload their stuff. So let me know what you think about Play Dirty. Like I said, this is a little different, not the typical stuff I usually watch from Tubi. So I would love to chat with you in the comments about what you think about this movie. Also, do you agree with me on that you kind of get that mid-90s feel, right? Like that Jackie Brown, uh, Pulp Fiction, Leon the Professional, that type of thing. Let me know, all right? Shout out to my 152 subscribers. Shout out to the rest of you as well who are not subscribed, but you know you can by hitting that button for me. We're trying to make it to 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. We got, 5 months to go. Let's do it, all right? Peace and blessings to each and last every one of you watching, excuse me. Until next time.